everyone, today we're going to talk about finger knitting. Finger knitting is fun and you only need very few supplies. You need some yarn. I like to use the thicker chenille type yarn just because it makes a prettier piece of fabric and it's easier to use. Finger knitting is going to, and some scissors. Finger knitting is going to help us create kind of rows or long cords of fabric that you can sew together to make blankets or scarves or even a purse or a bag. So today, and one other thing you're going to need is one of your hands, okay? And you're going to start today by taking one end of the yarn, the loose end, and putting it across your hand and under your thumb like that. Then we're going to use our other 4 fingers, okay? We're going to start by putting the end that's attached to the ball of yarn behind our pointer finger, in front of our ring finger, in front of our middle finger, behind our ring finger, and in front of our pinky like that, okay? Then I'm going to wrap it around the pinky, in front of the ring finger, behind the middle finger, and in front of the index, okay? And the way it works is now I've got one loop on each of those 4 fingers. Then the end that's attached to the ball, not this end that's under my thumb, I'm going to wrap around the pointer, in front of the middle, behind the ring, and in front of the pinky, all the way around the pinky, in front of that ring finger like that, behind the middle, and in front of the pointer. Okay? Then if you sort of gently scoop it down, you will see you've got 2 rings on each of those 4 fingers. The next step's kind of easy. I'm going to take this bottom ring on each of the fingers and pull it over the top ring to the back like that. Bottom ring on the bottom, pull it over the one on the top, leaving the one on the top still on your fingers. So the bottom ring goes over, and yes, you can bend your fingers if that helps you. Bottom ring over the top, leaving those top rings on the fingers all the way across. Then, for my next row, I only have one loop on my fingers. For my next row, I'm using that end that's attached to the ball of yarn, and I'm going over top of my middle finger, behind my ring, over top of my pinky, all the way around the back of my pinky, in front of my ring finger, behind my middle finger, and over top of my index finger. Then you'll see I've got my 2 loops again. And so I'm going to take this bottom loop over the top, bottom loop over the top one to the back, bottom loop over the top one to the back, bottom loop over the top one to the back. Okay? When you get about 2 rows done, it's okay to let this one go to the back, and you'll see at the back of your hand is where that fabric is starting to form. Okay? You can see I'm getting a little cord of fabric. Okay, so let's do one more row. Go around using the yarn that's attached to that ball of yarn, going over top of the middle finger, behind the ring, over top of the pinky, and then I need to loop it around the pinky to go back again, front of the ring, behind the middle, front of the pointer. There's my 2 rings. I'm going to pull the bottom loop over the top, like that. Okay, make sure that top loop stays on there. It's okay to bend your finger if it helps you a little bit. Okay, the bottom loop going over to the back, bottom loop going over to the back. Okay, and you're just going to keep that process going over and over again. Okay, and you can really see I've got a nice cord of fabric in the back starting to happen, and so I'm ready for my next row. Front, back, front, like that. Have my 2 rings, I'm ready to pull them over again. Just keep repeating that over and over and over again. Make sure you're using the yarn that is attached to the ball of yarn, okay, not that short little end, and look how quickly that fabric just keeps forming in the back. So we'll come back in a little bit to show you how to finish it or take it off your hand when you are done. Thank you.